Answered. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is Virginia
Anastascio.
Anastascio. No disrespect.
It's like a tongue twister, I guess.
Now, starting off, before people want to know what Uncensored is, Uncensored is my way to show people that even with a learning disability, obviously because I had problems pronouncing your name, showing people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, turning myself into a perfect example for people out there deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. That you should never label yourself, and you should prove to them you can still mount to something, and should never just label yourself. You should just go for it.
Right.
Now, with that being said, it's a normal conversation. You can say anything you want. You can curse if you want to. It's uncensored, and it's whatever you want to do.
Wow, that's awesome. You can do those things. But I totally agree with you. If you're disabled, there's nothing to hold you back. You can do anything you want, be anything you want, and, the sky's the limit, basically.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
now,
definitely.
Starting off, what can you tell me about yourself?
Well, I was born in Florida, and I was what you would call a military brat. So we traveled, everywhere. And left Florida, went to Montana, lived in Kansas, I lived in the Philippines, and, it was a military childhood, another world to itself. So, got married to someone in the military. We're divorced now, but we went to Germany, and came, I guess he had a choice to choose, 3 duty stations. One was South Carolina, Alaska, and California. So he chose to, come to California, and I was so happy because I was like, you always hear about California, the world of actors and, everything that you could accomplish would be in California. So I was so excited to, go to California. So I've been here for 17 years, and it has been a journey, a great journey. And I am an actress, and just to tell you about that, I didn't know how to start, where to begin, to become an actress. So it was indeed a long journey for that. So.
All right. Like I said, you can ask me anything you want, say anything you want. It's your time, and let's just have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm just happy that, you're doing this type of show. I've always wanted to do this myself. So how did you get started doing this?
Well, for the longest time, I was using my learning disability as a crutch. Can't do this, can't do that. And I was like, one day, fuck it. I'm going to do something that I want to do for the rest of my life. Even if it doesn't pan out, I just want to prove to people I accomplished something.
That's right.
And I got tired of working in retail. I made myself physically sick out of my own stupidity. Long story about that. And I was like, this is going to be 2 years. So a year ago, I started doing interviews. It came up with 72.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Skype interviews. It was just don't ask me why, it was an audio conversation, so I couldn't get sponsors because they were asking me, what's your audience, what is this, what is that. I said, I don't know. So they said, okay, do it over. So I did, and thanks to you, we're up to 78.
Wow.
And,
That's awesome.
Taking it one step at a time. It's just, when you're very passionate about something, you should never label yourself or You know, it doesn't matter black, white, or handicap, not. You should just go out and prove to people you can still do something.
I strongly agree. You know, I think these interviews that you do, it can help encourage others. So I really like that you're doing these type of interviews. That's awesome. Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, you know, I've always wanted to do something like this myself, and I just never gotten into it yet. I don't know, maybe I'm not as motivated or something, but, you know, I would love to do something like this myself.
Well, if you like, maybe we can work something out. I can help you.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Just to, you know, I want to reach out to different audience about different topics. I mean, it could be anything that's going on in this society today. You know, a lot is going on today. So, you know, I would love to do this.
All right, well, we can talk about let's do the easy questions first, and then we can talk about the hard-hitting ones.
Exactly, definitely.
Now, starting off, could you tell me about yourself? Were you athletic? Did you do a lot of sports in high school? And 2 questions in one. And the second half is, were you a party animal? Were you a study nerd?
In high school, I ran track, and I also played an instrument. So I played the clarinet. So I was in a band in high school, and let's see, what else did I do? Basically, I just did those 2 things. I was in the band. I was one of those flag girls. I like to, you know, march and, you know, dance and things like that. I also was a rifle captain. I'm sure you've seen the Marines, how they twirl those rifles.
Right.
I used to do that. So I used to love, you know, football season. I used to love it because it was just something that I love to do, like twirl rifles and march in the band. And then concert season, I was playing an instrument. And then when it was time for any type of sports, I just ran track. As far as a party animal, no, my grandmother did not play that. I never went out as far as parties and things like that. I think I was somewhat a nerd. I think I was, you know, one of those more so. My book smart, it was up and down with me, but, you know, I was more so into the books.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, the next question I ask, I usually ask this only towards the women, because, you know, I like to mix things up. I usually ask one certain group of questions asked for the girls, and certain group of questions asked the guys. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're being sexist," and I was like, "No, I like being different."
Okay.
So, were you ever athletic? Like, you know, you did running. But were you ever like a cheerleader, or did you do gymnasts, or not into that?
Oh my gosh. When I was in high school, I was a gymnast. I loved doing flips and everything, definitely. As far as cheerleader, I wasn't that coordinated with my hands and all that stuff. So I tried out, and I didn't make it, because I think if I was more organized or had someone, I had an aunt that was a cheerleader, so I guess if I had her working with me, I probably would have been more organized. When I went to the audition, I would have been more organized, but no cheerleader, no. That didn't work for me at all.
I know a lot of reason I bring that up. A lot of people refer to this as cheerleading, but again, stereotypes. You don't have to label it, but did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not a human pyramid girl?
No, I never got a chance to do that. Never.
Would you be interested, or is like that's not your type of cake?
Just not my style, I guess. Not my style.
Yeah, I always wanted to do one. I know I'm a loser.
Oh my gosh, why would you call yourself a loser?
Well, that's true.
You're not a loser. Not at all.
No, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask you, were you athletic as well?
I was never given an opportunity because due to the fact I have a learning disability, they set boundaries, so I never, even though I always wanted to do something, they said, they're really hesitant about it, and they never did any of those sports. However, my sister and my brothers, they did do sports, and soccer and bowling. Unfortunately, I had a lot of asshole teasers, and I didn't have the option. Oh well.
Hey, I guess, encouragement is like a plus with people. You have to always encourage them to do different things, and that will motivate anyone. You know what I mean? So that's like a must.
Well, the next question I was going to ask you is, what type of school did he go to? Or did he go to, let me rephrase that, did he go to a public school, a city school, or a suburb school?
I went to a public school. Yeah, I went to a public school. It was in Florida. This is high school we're talking about, right?
Right.
So, yeah, it was a public school, and it was, it was okay. We were called the Barracudas. So, yeah, we were the Barracudas.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a cool school.
The school I went to, and the reason I asked you if you went to the city or do you went to the suburbs, I went to a suburb school.
Okay.
And it was basically a rich, snobby country club. If you had money, you can pay people off. You can pay the teachers. And
wow.
most of the cars in the parking lot belong to students. And it's a lot of drama. But if you had money, you can do whatever. I'll give you a perfect example.
Wow.
They used to threaten students saying, we're not going to take you on any field trips or do this or do that unless your parents vote yes on the school board. And it's like, well, we need new buses and vote yes for this and that, or no field trips for you.
Wow.
So the kids used to go crying back and say, I want to go on a field trip, Mommy. I said, okay, so they vote yes and they got all this money. And it took them 10 years. And they didn't do shit with them. He said, we need new buses.
Wow.
Okay. Here are the buses. Well, when are you going to start using them? A year or 2 years. Then you say you need buses, so here are the buses. Yeah, if we get to it when we feel like it are. They wanted, like a year or so ago, wanted money to build a new swimming pool. Because they have a swimming pool in the middle school that they were using. And, it's falling apart or whatever. So, fix it. You can make it brand new. Let's freaking fix it. Oh, no, we need a new swimming pool. And why should high school kids who go to middle school, and use it with the little kids? And then there was something else where they wanted to work on the football field, where they wanted it to patch it up, and it's kind of like, again, when you have money, you can do whatever you want. And, my dad worked in a city school, and, it was mostly, not to be racist, but it was mostly blacks and Spanish and Asians. And I said, I went to your school. And you're just saying that. No, I mean it, because you appreciate things. A school is where you're supposed to go and interact with people. How it teaches you how to, interact with people, and you appreciate things more. And going to a rich, snobby, backward-ass school in the suburbs, I couldn't wait.
Money hungry.
That's true. You're money hungry. I couldn't wait to get the hell out. And then,
wow.
I'll give you a perfect example. What type of education did you get? And I will tell you what I got in return. That is absolutely nothing.
You mean in high school?
Yes.
Absolutely nothing. I really believe my education began in college, to tell you the truth. But, that's just me.
I will give you a perfect example of what I had to deal with 4 years. Oh, you have a learning disability? Can't do this? Okay, here's the newspaper. Go sit in a class and read it for 45 minutes.
What? Okay, my education was better than yours in high school. I did learn something. Oh my goodness, are you serious?
That's all they did. They basically had to say most of the. That's why I used to skip. They had something called link skills class for learn a skill, and most of the time I was reading a fucking newspaper. That's not a skill.
Wow.
What about teach me how to count money? Teach me how to do this? No, just read a newspaper. You're gonna work retail the rest of your life.
Educating yourself, just basically they didn't want to teach. They just wanted to just throw something at you, and when the bell rung, you just went to the next class and did what? The same thing?
That's true.
Wow.
Now, here's a funny story. It's funny. But did you ever do anything stupid in high school that you it was kind of peer pressure, but you did it, but now you kind of regret that you did it?
Yes. Yes. There's one thing that I did when I was running track, and you know what? Today, sometimes I may still think about that. I was running track, and I was running, gosh, I forgot what it is when you run one time around the track, and this was a track meet, and I was just running, and I was first, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was doing so good, just leading everyone. And when I got around that last part, I just collapsed. Instead of just continuing the run to win, I just collapsed. And the whole school picked on me. They said the bear caught my back. And I just regret that. I was like, why didn't I keep going? If I would have kept going, I would have won. Instead, I felt so tired, I gave up. And I just wish I did not do that. That's
nothing. You mean a mile run or something like that, right?
Yes.
I used to walk it. I can't run for anything.
Right. So you walked that mile, huh? I wish I could have done it then. We could have walked it. Maybe I would have won. But it just didn't work for me. I was teased the next day I went to school. Oh my gosh, they teased me like crazy. So I regret that.
Well, what if I was just thinking that obviously didn't cause a pile up.
Really?
Well, that would have been fun if he did. But, did he ever come close to it, or he just never happened?
Yeah, I have. I learned from that one time that I did that. And the coach just put me on that every time we had a track meet. And I did win some and I lost some. But I didn't pass out at the end of it. You know what I mean? So, or in the middle of it. So I'm like, I'm not doing that again. No way. So.
Well, when he ran track, did he ever cause like a pile up, or were you like the last person at the very end, so you avoided all that?
I was always the type that wanted to win. Like I wanted to be first. So I was never last. If I didn't come first, I came like somewhat in the middle. I just never wanted to be last, even though I did that first thing, that first mistake I told you about. After that, no, never. I never was the last person to roll in. So I think that's somewhat how my life is today. I'm trying to keep it to the top, but sometimes it never gonna stay on the top because someone's always gonna outdo you, or you know what I mean. The only thing we can do is try. So I've always been that type of person. just try my best, and hey.
The one thing I did in high school that was really stupid was my freshman year, and to make it worse, it was on my birthday too. And we had a test, and it said answer the question like it's real life scenario. You can say whatever you want. I was like, okay, that's easy. I don't think anyway, so I can do that. And you can write anything you like. Yeah, for example, it's one of the questions said, if you had an old group of people, old group of friends, and then you created a new group of friends, and they didn't like each other.
Oh boy.
Yeah, or you can do it in the whole black-white thing or whatever stupid stereotype is. How would you solve it? And I said, okay, well, we would compromise.
Right.
Like, we would say, okay, just get along. We're all going to be here together. Give me respect, give you respect for now. And you don't have to like each other, but as long as we're all in the same area, suck it up and just do what you have to do.
Right.
And that wasn't good enough.
Okay.
So I said, I got pissed because she handed it back to me. He says, try again. Okay. Try again. Okay, by the third time, I said, you know what? I wrote down a couple F words. I said, if these two people, a group of people can't get along, fuck it. Then I give up. And I guess putting down an F word on a high school test wasn't really the smartest thing I could have done.
Oh my gosh. At all.
And the teacher said, you want to do it over? I said, no, you're going to fail me anyway, so that's all I don't want to do. I just want to get out of this class. So they called me later on, at the end of the day, called me back. Did you write this on your test? Yeah, I'm sorry, want me just to do it over? No, you're not doing it over. You're getting detention. I said, well, can you just give me once detention? It's my birthday. I don't give a damn it's your birthday. And so I called back, and my dad is a teacher. He said, if one of my students did that, I would have beat the living shit out of them. And it's like, you lucky, the only thing saving your ass is today's your birthday. If it wasn't your birthday, I would have wiped the floor with you.
Wow.
So that's
So your birthday saved you, huh?
I know, it wasn't smart. I hated my freshman year. I failed every single class that year.
Oh my God.
Why? They gave me the chance to stay back one more year in middle school. But due to a lot of drama in that school, I just wanted to leave. So I guess I wasn't ready for it. And that's why I took more special ed classes, because I wasn't capable of doing mainstream. Like, I passed the class, it was the group activity. I had social anxiety. So when he said when you were supposed to work in a group, I preferred just to work by myself.
Right.
And unfortunately, that was part of the test that I failed. And just shit like that. You could have listed it over, but I wouldn't have changed anything.
Right. I know kids, they're so cruel. And peer pressure is not good. So a lot of people just decide, you know what, I don't want to go to school, or I don't want to do this because of all that peer pressure. It's crazy. I think I had a little bit, not that much peer pressure, but a little in school. So I know what you mean.
I do. I appreciate it. And now the next question I was going to ask you is everything going on today. And you don't have to talk about this if you don't want to talk to you. We'll talk about it. But it is uncensored, and I'm going to ask you a lot of hard-hitting questions. Do you think a lot of people use the race card as a crutch and, get away with things? I'll give you a perfect example. I can use it too because, I have a learning disability. And it's like, oh, well, you're giving me a hard time. It's because, I'm retarded. Do you think it doesn't have to do with the fact that you have a learning disability or you're black or white? Do you think it's just more stereotypes of the people over the years thinking they can beat the system or they can get away with it. Do you think that's what more is about?
Yeah, I think it's how people grow up to think. You know what I mean? Like your upbringing is so important these days because people do stereotype, and I think with people being so stereotypical, they think negative of other people. Of it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Jewish. It doesn't matter what it is. However you were brought up to think, you're gonna think those negative things, you know. And as far as getting what you want, I don't know. I just think that this world is just something. It's something that's always been there, the stereotype, and it's just gonna stay there. And it's so sad that we, I hate to say it, as black people, we have to always, you know, prove ourselves. You know, we can be on top. We can make it. And even if you have a disability, it's the same thing. You have to always prove yourself. Look, I can do this. So it's always going to be a stereotype there, and that's what I think of it.
Hey, well, with everything going on in the news, do you think it's getting out of hand, or do you think it's just the media causing problems?
I think the media certainly can cause a lot of problems. Something that are in the media is not as bad as it seems, but you know they like to pump it up because that brings what ratings. You know, I believe. I mean, what's going on overseas with the little war? I believe that is happening today. But I'm just saying, like, the media certainly can pump up things and make it worse than what it really is, just to bring in ratings. So.
Well, I give you a perfect example. You know, what about important stories? You know, like I think this is important, but you know, all the religious fanatics out there. A while ago, I don't know if you heard about it. They got a radio signal from space, and it dated back 1,000 years ago. And well, that's why if you don't know about it, that's how fast they buried it. Oh, wow. We can't have that. You know, the church wanted like that, and it's.
Right.
You know, what pisses me off, they say, they talk about Mars, and they say there's life in space. Mars, they're got to colonize Mars, got to colonize the moon, found water and air on Mars, and blah, 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 blah. But when you go and say, okay, do you believe there's life in space? And they say, no, there's no life in space. Wait, you said... And spiders, for example, came from Mars because I saw you the picture I found. They said, well, you're saying there's water on Mars, and where is Mars? In space. So, if you follow that logic, Mars is a planet, and I break it down for our listeners, Mars is a planet, right. Therefore, there's life in space. Like Earth. Earth is in space, so there is life in space. I don't know, it's a whole this bullshit of fanatics. I can't deal with people like that. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, too much.
I believe in God. You know, I'm Jewish, but I don't label myself as, you know, being Jewish. I believe in God, and I believe in the devil. You know, yin and yang, you can't have one without the other.
That's right.
But, you know, you can't deal with crazy people because you're only going to get shit in return.
You're so right. Totally. I totally agree with that. I don't know about the space stuff, though. You know? I don't know about that. You know? I don't know what they're doing up there, to tell you the truth. The astronauts, I really don't. I just don't get it.
All right. Well, what about, are you not to sound, we're on subject, did you vote for Obama?
I did. I did vote for Obama. Yeah, I did. respected. I mean, it's kind of good too to see another culture in power.
Right.
Of course, you want him to do his work if he's going to be in power. So yeah, I voted for him. Did you vote for him?
I did. I'm not ashamed of it. I did vote for him because I thought, it was history. People wanted it. People wanted to change, and I was like, okay. But at the same time, they kind of get you at the same thing. When I mentioned the race card, they kind of cold cock you at the same time because you said,
right.
Oh, if you don't vote for him, he's because he's black. Or if you do vote for him, you're just following everyone else. So it's kind of like...
Oh, yeah.
The whole stereotype thing gets annoying after a while.
That's so true. I feel that history was made, and that's a good thing, great thing. But if it was someone else that, racing against Obama, and they're better than Obama, I'm not going to vote for Obama just because he's black. You know what I mean? We have to go with who's going to run this country the best. That's how I see it.
Well, Mitt Romney was a perfect candidate, but he dropped the ball during Hurricane. When Hurricane Sandy happened, he was nowhere to be found.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. So do we want him in power? I mean, if he can't be around for that, what would happen if it was a major disaster in the United States? Like, really?
I gave you a perfect example. Chris Kersey, they were giving him a hard time saying he wasn't a nice person. During Hurricane Sandy, he was everywhere, on the TV, on the news, on the radio. He doing this and this, and now they went back. It's like saying, okay, you served your purpose. Now it's... I don't do the whole media bullshit. I'll give you a perfect example. The media wants to talk about rape and murder and killing, so I don't watch the news.
Right.
I tried getting on a couple of media outlets, about my talk show. No, we're not interested at this time. We're too busy talking about rapes and murders and everything. It's like, really? This is a great thing I'm doing. You just want to throw it to the side because you don't want to deal with it. You don't want to acknowledge it. It's kind of like, stupid things for stupid people.
Right. That's all you hear on the media today is someone's missing or there's a rape or, there's just a lot of negative things that is going on today, and that's all the media is shooting. But I want to hear like a lot of positive things too. I mean, I guess it's good to let the world know what's going on in this world, but there's just too much negativity though. You know what I mean? So we want to see something positive as well. So you're so right. I have to agree with that.
Hey, well, wrapping up, do you have any funny stories you like to share or anything you like to say to your listeners and fans?
Only thing I can say is, for people who want to make it, especially in this acting business, you just hang in there. I can tell you I started as an extra. I was an extra in this movie called Collateral Damage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that's how I started in the business. And you just have to just hang in there. That's all you can do. Just network.